Survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
Oh, man, it is 4 o'clock, and you are locked into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the sweeping Atlanta Braves. That's right, baby. The Braves are on a tear, and we're excited about it so much. The Braves on the Gulf Coast are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Billbird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. I'm pumped up. I don't know if you can tell, but I am jumping out of this chair. This is going to be an exciting show. We got all kinds of stuff for you. If you don't like something that we're talking about, just hang on a little bit longer because there's something that you're going to like because we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. There's LSU stuff to talk about. We got Chris Blair coming on. Taylor Devers is coming on. We're going to be talking about Florida State's game tomorrow against New Mexico State. The Braves won last night. I'm sure there's going to be some talk about that. We got NFL quarterback competitions that we got to talk about. Jeff's got shades and accolades today. So, I mean, this is a great show. Just hang in there with us. It's raining outside, and it's going to be raining in this building. Jeffro, how you doing today on this great Friday? And we got football tonight. Right after the show, going to be going to the Mosley-Godby game where they got a Division I wide receiver signed with Clemson. They call him the Waffle House because he's open all the time. We're going to see how Tommy Joe's defense stands up against that guy tonight. Here we go. Jeffrey, how you doing?
He is open even during hurricane weather like we have right now.
That's right. Oh, man. But, yeah. Hey, man, I like your shirt. You got a little local shirt going on there. Panama City Beach shirt. Got all the markers there. And let's see.
Another reason why Bay County is great.
Yeah, Bay County.
You know why? We have public access.
That's right.
We're not these snobby guys who shut down and say, oh, I own that sand right there. Oh, no, you can get that over there.
Yes.
Don't get it here because you're not going to get it.
Bye.
NSYNC.
Yeah, that's right. Is that the same?
No, it's Backstreet Boys. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Backstreet
I don't know, man.
Yeah. That was NSYNC, but Backstreet Boys, the guy.
You probably know all the boy band stuff.
Oh, yeah. 98 Degrees. What else is there? Bone Crusher.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
New Edition.
I told you you'd enjoy
New Kids
this
on
show.
the Block.
I told you you'd enjoy this show.
Yeah, the first segment is brought to you by boy bands.
That's right. Speaking of boy bands, I got to bring this up. Tonight is Stone Cold Brian Austin's wife's birthday party at the Lone Star Bull House, and it's going to be a tribute night. His night was
get drunk and don't remember it.
No, his night was the where you get
looks
all
like cymbals.
No,
what are you doing here?
Where
guitar.
They get all
dressed up.
Yeah.
The glow sticks.
Glow sticks.
Oh,
yes.
there
all
you go.
Stuff. Yeah.
All
rave, like a rave party.
A rave.
Her party tonight for her birthday
No
is
drugs.
going to be boy bands night and 80s and 90s. So wear your 80s and 90 apparel.
I do not have any of that.
I'm sure you can find something in that drawers of yours.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I had this in the closet.
I'm sure you can.
It was buried and should have been burned.
But either way, Bone Crusher, good to see you. Good to have you. This show's going to be awesome. How you doing?
Dude, my ex-girlfriend was also known as the Waffle House.
Oh, no. I could go so many different ways with this.
But we're not. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
He gave you the bait.
I
Just take
promise.
it, Paul.
We're not
take it.
doing it. Kids listen to this show, for God's sakes. All right, so check this out.
Pull one meat, drop one hash brown.
Oh, no.
Mark plate.
No.
Sunny side up.
You're only doing that because you were a manager and a coach.
You're right.
all
You know
at
how many
the same
times
time.
I heard that?
A bunch.
Oh, my goodness.
You probably heard that in your sleep.
I know. I was
say,
like,
I'd say.
I forgot that order.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. All right. So, anyway, after the middle school humor that we had going on here today, let's talk
We'll
about...
move up to the Major League Baseball.
That's right.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. The
Well, you know what?
Braves- Come on.
No. Let's
Yeah,
talk about the
yeah.
real hero here, and he's going to get accolades too. It's going to be Sale.
Oh, yeah. Chris
11
Sale.
strikeouts in a full game pitching thing where he shut out the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
The world champion Dodgers.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Current.
Yeah. Dodgers.
Might not be back to back to back any
you
longer.
think there are going to be, but
No. You know what? I'd rather the Brewers win it this year than the Dodgers.
Well, I'm gonna
and
tell
let's
you-
talk about the bad decision on the jersey. Put Dodgers on the front. Don't put Los Angeles. We know you're from Los Angeles. So we don't really care. But put Dodgers on the front. It looks better.
Yeah,
Am I right?
I agree.
The
Yeah.
Braves, same deal. Put Braves on the front. That's what they had yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
I like it. Let me say this. 1-0 last night. Lead off, home run, Drake Baldwin, first pitch of the game. It's like since 1886 has the Braves team played against someone and had their leadoff man hit a home run and scored no more runs and won 1-0. This has only happened twice in their history, and it happened the last time in 1886. So there you go. That's some good history for you.
Was that Boston?
I think so.
I'm hoping.
But let me say this. You're exactly right. Chris Sale last night, unbelievable. 11 strikeouts. You know what he did? He did something that he hadn't done since 2015, which is hit 100 miles an hour on a fastball. So he is getting ready to go. I'll tell you this. One of the greatest things that happened last night that I saw when I was watching the game was the fact that his family was right there beside the dugout. Chris Sale gets him out for the 8th inning. He walks into the dugout. Everybody is kind of on there. I don't know if he's coming back. Are they going to go to the bullpen, bring the closer in? What's going to happen? Chris Sale goes into the dugout, and he looks at Walt Weiss, and he says, I'm going back out there.
Wow.
That's his words. I read them. I rewound it, read them again. That's exactly what he told Walt Weiss when he was going into the dugout, and that's what happened. And when he comes out of the dugout, you should see his young boy, his wife, they're sitting right there by the dugout. They see him putting his hat on, bringing his glove, and walking out up the stairs to go onto the field, and his little boy just starts screaming uncontrollably. His wife's clapping and standing. Everybody's getting up because you know as well as I do, to have a complete game in this Major League Baseball games anymore is like a gone thing. It doesn't happen hardly.
Yeah.
But this happened today, and it's an exciting time, or it happened last night, and it was exciting because that was something to see. Ends the game with a strikeout. Unbelievable. I love it. I love the passion. I love how Chris Sale wanted the ball. He wanted the ball. And when your ace looks over at you and tells you, I want to go out there, I mean, barring an injury, you got to let him go. You got to let him go. And what does this say to the Dodgers? But I think we
There's
talked
somebody in your way.
We talked about how that Greg Maddux talked about doing stuff to set up the playoffs. Now on this, coming in there, shutting them out 1-0. Now the Braves need to score more runs. We know that. We've already talked about that. But being able to sweep the Dodgers 3 games in a row. But I don't love how it happened by 1 run each game.
Well, you're all about winning the series, and they already had the series won.
They had the series
before
won.
your ace gets there.
Yeah,
That's
which
significant.
is significant.
Yeah, it was easy and better for the rotation and everything for it to fall this way because the Rockies, we don't really respect the Rockies.
But you know how I said it. When they play against the tough teams, they play good.
Well, but it is good for the playoffs because if all your best can beat the Dodgers, guess what? All you just need 3 pitchers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, playoff baseball is totally different.
Oh,
They pull out all the stops, obviously, and they should. But I believe that for the Braves, this was significant. This was significant.
But I feel confident because not only did the Braves not go to the playoffs last year, but they have the playoff experience.
Yeah, they got
and the positivity where the Brewers, they just know they lose in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm looking a little more positive on the Braves. Actually, a lot more before this series started.
I'm excited about it, and for Chris Sale to do what he did last night, that just kind of gives him up a little bit more. He's got better stats now than he had when he won the Cy Young. So I know he's like the dark horse.
Yeah,
but there's still a chance Chris Sale could win the Cy Young. I mean,
wow,
really, it's still open. I mean,
Wow.
I mean, obviously he's going to have to dominate all the way through.
Yeah,
and then the Braves, if they keep winning, because when you're on the winning team, it helps you more. When you're on a playoff team and you're dominating, unless you're chasing some significant record, then you might win it based off of that if your team's losing.
Now, after football and basketball, though, they have more of a moment sometimes. Like there's a game where a basketball player might score like 55 or 60. And in football, you have moments where, hey, you brought this team back against the Packers or something like that. You know, there's moments that can help you get that MVP. In baseball, not so much. It's such a long season.
It
Am
is.
I right?
I mean, it is.
Do you need a moment to be the MVP? No.
No, it's not. Yeah, kind of like a Heisman moment.
Yes.
You don't have like a Heisman moment.
You don't need that in baseball.
You got to baseball. It's the game of consistency.
Yes.
It is the game of consistency. It's the number one game that you've got to be good every day for the most part. Now, as a Cy Young Award winner, I'm sure you're going to lose a game or get a no decision or have a bad outing or whatever.
I mean, he's
that
13-9, I think.
Yeah. So it happens, but you used to what they used to want to do is you had to be a 20-game winner. That was always always the case.
That's not the case.
It's no longer that anymore. I mean, it's like you really don't see that much because they're not pitching that many games, and they might give them rest before the playoffs. All of that stuff. But I don't know. That it seemed like, and again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it did seem like it was playoff atmosphere last night at Truist Park. It did. It just. Everybody was there. People were screaming. It was, yes, we're still in August, but man, it did feel a little bit like October. And maybe that's just how it is when you're hosting the Dodgers. Maybe everywhere the Dodgers go, that's what it is. It's like playing Michael Jordan back in the 90s. That was going to sell out every year, every time that he come to his town. Or it might be like Caton Clark. You're going to get a full capacity. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rambunctious because you've got the stars coming in. And I mean, seeing Shohei Ohtani and some of those, there's no doubt. The other night when I was watching, I heard a lot of cheers, and when the Dodgers would do good. So I know that they came to the game. I mean, the Dodger fans travel now. They're a lot like, since they've won and kind of they're like the Yankee fans. They're starting to be everywhere. So, because that's how it happens. New jobs take place and people move and they're down here or up there, or they might be, in town for this or that, or they might just be like, hey, we're that's our closest ballpark and we're big Dodger fans and we don't live in California, but we're going to go to Atlanta, and every time they come to Atlanta, that's who we're cheering for, and we're wearing our Dodger uniforms, and that's just how it works.
I'm probably asking the wrong person because you're biased.
Yeah.
Are the Braves the fifth or sixth biggest fan base, as far as passion goes and everything in baseball? Because I'm going to say Red Sox, Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers is 1 through 4. The Braves or the Phillies is number 5.
I'd have to go Phillies.
Really?
I'd have to go Phillies.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're crazy about baseball.
They're crazy about it. And it's just Philadelphia in general are crazy about their sports. They are.
Crazy.
They are. They possibly could be, I don't know, because with Los Angeles, them having the Dodgers, having the Clippers, having the Lakers.
Angels.
I mean, they've got a big, they split them up. But, I mean, to me, the Philadelphia fans with the Eagles, I mean, the Eagles fly deal is pandemonium. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Phillies, they're there. I mean, if you listen to those games, I mean, the Philly fans booed the National League players that are in the division with the Phillies at the All-Star game. So, I mean, you tell me.
Yeah.
The Brave fans didn't do that whenever They were at Truist Park last year.
They just were.
They
We're
didn't.
polite. We have Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
He's saying they have class.
I mean, yeah, you can call it class, you can call it Southern hospitality, you can call it whatever you want, but the Philly fans, the Philadelphia fans are crazy, you know, and I mean, until they won their first Super Bowl in a long time.
Wow.
I mean, that was a big deal for them, and it rejuvenated and reemphasized that fan base to the point to where, I mean, because they're wanting one for the Philadelphia Phillies too. I mean, they're getting a little bit anxious there too, which
The
I mean,
76ers get it as a trifecta.
oh wow,
They haven't had one since, 83 or something like that?
yeah, Moses Malone and Mo Cheeks,
Dr. J.
yeah, Dr. J, yeah. So, but I mean, all of that. It's to me it's a crazy thing, but hats off to the Braves for doing the impossible. I mean, we talked about it. I only wanted them to win the series, but to sweep the reigning world champions, two-time world champions, at home. Again, by one run each night, unbelievable.
And this pitching rotation is going to rotate around that Rockies series and land
the Phillies
at Philadelphia.
Yep.
We're on the road.
Yep. So we need that same type of pitching. And I know that, we gave up 2-3 runs in the other games that we played with the Dodgers. But if we can just give up a couple of runs a night, I'll live with that because, hopefully we can manufacture 3 to 4 to 5 runs a night at least with our lineup because it seems like a lot of these guys are starting to, come up in big times and like Austin Riley, for example. I mean, how bad has he been all year? And he's starting, I wouldn't say he's hot, but I would say that he's, starting to be a guy that, every once in a while he comes up with runners on base, he's going to knock them in, and then having Sean Murphy finally leave the field for once and, finally hit some home runs. That's a good thing. Matt Olson's always going to be Matt Olson. And I mean, hopefully, Drake's going to do his deal, and Acuna's going to do his deal, and Ozzy's going to do his deal.
Producing the runs when you need them.
Yeah.
Then that's the story of the one run game.
Yeah, but that last night, though, I don't want to be redundant here, but just to talk about it, it felt like playoff baseball at Truist Park. People were screaming. Everybody was going because everybody realized that Chris Sale – he's not a guy to me that seems like he's there for the, accolades for himself, but he is an ultimate team guy. And last night you could tell he wanted the ball not so he could have a new ball to put on his mantle or something for his son to enjoy with him or whatever. Yeah. But like he was doing that because he was like, we're making a statement tonight. I'm going to show them that we're going to shut them out.
It was a shot of adrenaline.
Yeah, he was pumped up. I mean, you could tell he was tense. He was pumped. That last at bat, guy did old check swing. They caught him out, and he was, he was riled up.
That's adrenaline for the whole team, for the fan base. That's the kind of momentum builder that's going to help push them and keep the Phillies off their back.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I think it's a little bit more having everyone else in the league respect him, and then the intimidation on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
because it's going to work in the playoffs.
And I mean, the things that you remember are what happened earlier in the season. So when you do come to the playoffs, it's like, hey, now let's make sure we don't blah, 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 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just, it is what it is. I'm excited about it. I don't want to put the cart before the horses here, but keep winning, even if it's by one run. And let's get through this series with Colorado, and then let's get on to the Philadelphia series and see what happens. Yeah. Don't forget, the Braves will be on tomorrow right after the North Carolina game right here, 104.3 ESPN.
There's not one tonight? We have one tonight. They're playing.
The first pitch is like at 5.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, you got to listen to our show.
That's right. That's right. This is way more important.
We'll put it on and keep everyone up to date.
Yeah, we'll let everybody know what's going on. So either way, we're going to go ahead and take our break. When we come back, you know what tomorrow is? The Seminoles open their season, and we got somebody to talk about it. Norvell Central is going to be on the building right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Gators are talking today.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
They're going to allow beer sold at the new sports complex, yet we can't have a cold beer on the beach.
Yeah. Then for the ride home, the fastest 2 hours on radio. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
You better hope you're ready.
Morning drive and the afternoon commute are live and local on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Likely thunderstorms and light rain the remainder of the day with a light breeze out of the south-southwest around 6 miles per hour and temps near 84. Tonight we will have light sprinkles and possible thunderstorms and be warm at 75. Likely thunderstorms throughout the day with mostly clouds at night tomorrow and a high 83. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Something big is coming. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. That means Florida from Texas to California. Every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with code NWFlorida. Spend $5 to get 200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code NWFlorida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click to claim issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
We don't run a hype machine up here in the Midwest. We believe everything's earned, not given. And when we fall short, we say we fell short. We don't cry a river, whine, and complain. And that's why we're the best.
Kirk Signetti, don't tell me all of this stuff about what the Midwest is doing just because you've been there for 2 going on 3 years now. I don't care. You're starting to get on my nerves. I don't like your smirks. I don't like your looks. I don't like you looking at the camera and ESPN when you know that they got the camera on you. You had a great team last year. Don't make people hate you. It's not going to last.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Some people say our opinions are toxic. We say they're just a little terminal. The Sports Blitz.
This malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow take on the Colorado Rockies right here at 104.3 right after the North Carolina game. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. Jeffrey's here. Bone Crusher's here. And on the phone line, we've got none other than our friend of the show from Norvell Central. It is Taylor Devers, our in-house Florida State fan. Taylor, how are you today on this rainy Friday here in the Panhandle?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I'm also dealing with the rain right now. I'm making a little commute before tomorrow's game, and, man, it's exciting that Florida State football is finally back in action soon.
Could you just, can you believe that it's finally here? I mean, like, honestly, realistically, tomorrow, Florida State's going to be running out, and football season is actually here. I just still – it doesn't feel like it to me. It feels like we still need to be talking about whether or not pros are coming back to play college and what Lane Kiffin's doing.
Yeah, it's a great thing for college football, especially when Florida State is good again. Problem is, we haven't been good. So fans are so excited to have this back because we've had such a long offseason. We've had a lot of problems and issues and stuff like that. Florida State fans just want to see success, and you want to see college football back. Here it is. Here's our opportunity. Let's go Chives.
What do you think about starting out the game? Like, what is it that you're looking for? Obviously, you got the new coordinator. You got the new quarterback, Norvell, starting this new season. There's things you got to have. There's things you got to do. You can't go out there and look decent against a New Mexico State team. You've got to go out there and dominate. But what are you going to be looking for specifically?
Yeah, so typically I want to see the play calling being very simplistic, just ground and pound, because looking at their defensive line, the biggest guy they have up the middle in their defensive tackle from Tennessee Tech is 290 pounds.
Whoa.
This is a pressure, they're 117th in the country last year in rushing yards allowed. They only have 19 sacks in the entire season, which was dead last. This is a team on defense that is not very good. And let's just face it, I want Florida State to go out there and dominate. I'm not expecting Ashton Daniels to go out there and have 230, 250 passing yards. That's great and all, but you need to establish your dominance running the football. And I think that's what you missed last year in Gus Malzahn. You had a guy in, let's just say, for example, Sam Singleton and Uzman Croma and guys like that. You saw them getting 3 or 4 productive carries, and next thing you know, they're getting taken out of the game, and you don't see them till the third quarter. That definitely does not need to happen in this game. You need to establish that early and often. You need to have a guy like Croma, who's your top running back, to play and play well and have many carries, and I think that's going to have to happen this year.
Wow, I'm shocked. I'll just be honest with you. I thought that you were going to go a different way. I thought you were going to go with Ashton Daniels needs to throw for 200, 250 yards because y'all knew that coming in that the defensive line was going to be a little bit smaller, and it kind of gives you an unrealistic idea of how to run the football. But it does make sense because of why you said that, because of last year's way they did not dominate when they could have dominated because of the way Gus Malzahn ran the offense. So I totally get that. I understand it now. But you do want to see him make some completions. You don't want to see dink and dunks. You want to see him do some reads. You want to see him, get the ball to, people out in space and see the wide receivers kind of get going a little bit. Correct or not really? You still want to pound?
Yeah, 1,000%. He's going to use that RPO game that he specializes in so much, but you want to have those deep balls to Deuce Robinson, Mekhi Danzy, guys like that in space, and I think that's so important for this offense.
Do you think that with this game starting out on week 0 for Mike Norvell, that this will be a big-time confidence builder? Obviously, New Mexico State, that's not, a big-time opponent, but at least they're not an FCS program. Do you think he's trying to, garner some excitement? Obviously, last year beating Alabama at the beginning, that was as huge of excitement as you could have. But how is this year going to be different than even saying last year?
Yeah, you have to put your foot on the metal because the biggest part of the problem is Florida State started so hot, but they lost 7 of their last 9. So you can't let this game that you have, let's just say you win by 40 points, you can't let this 40-point win or whatever the case is kind of, get your confidence so high that you don't finish out the rest of the year. I think this is a big confidence booster for them because so many people have Mike Norvell as a hot seat list and a candidate, but you have to stay calm through every situation. And I think Mike Norvell is very confident in his team. He says this is the best he's felt in a couple of years, and that says a lot considering that 23 and 22 team were very successful at Florida State. I definitely think you have to put your foot on the gas pedal, and he has to have a sense of urgency like he had as an offensive play caller in 22. I just think this is going to be an opportunity for him to take advantage in a quarterback that he feels very confident in.
What do you think the fans are going to be like? Obviously, week 0, first out, getting to see this team that everybody is anxious to see. I wouldn't call the Florida State fan base excited right now. I think there's an anxious. They don't really know. I think it's kind of like not knowing who's going to be your coach going through the season because all the talking heads have put him on the hot seat out of the gate. So with that being said, what do you think is going to be the environment tomorrow, knowing that you're a season ticket holder and you've been there many times to open the season?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a late crowd. I think the student section might not get there to the second quarter, but I do think they stick around till maybe the end of the third, maybe middle of the third. I don't really think it's going to be a home type of environment because I do think it's going to you're going to kind of have some advantages there playing at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So I do think you're going to have more of a crowd than you would expect. But obviously with the stadium environment that you have, you're only having about 68,000 seats now with the new luxury seats they've added. So typically you're going to see probably the stadium 95% filled. But I think the other part of it is like people don't want to see Mike Norvell as a coach anymore. And I'm not part of that crew, obviously, but I do think that you have to basically make sure that that your words are kind of softer than your actions on the field. You have to make sure that you're actually able to do this. And I think a lot of fans are just wanting to see that. Now, if Florida State goes out there in that first offensive possession and they go 3 and out, man, I can only imagine the boos that are going to be in that crowd and just kind of the anticipation and the anxiousness that you're going to have in that environment. I just think it could be a very corrupt environment if you get to that point if Florida State isn't able to be successful early.
What kind of score differential do you think you need for this to gain momentum for the season?
So typically the spread right now at a couple of different sports books is about 31.5. I'd probably say typically you'd probably say about 35 to 38. I think you feel comfortable because typically I have it, and I'll kind of say this, I have it as a 42 to 13 type of game. I think they're going to score maybe 2 field goals later, something like that. I think the reserves are going to allow some points, but I do think that this is going to be a comfortable enough game where you're up maybe 4 touchdowns at halftime, kind of cruise your way through the third quarter, and then kind of get your reserves in at the end of the game. I think that's good enough because you have to hold much in the tank for that SMU team that's top 25, hostile environment next week, and you're going to see a lot of different fans that are coming in for that game, and they want to see Florida State be successful on a primetime slot. And I think that Florida State's going to have to hold their horses a little bit for that game next week.
The worst thing you could do is turn over the ball multiple times in this game. I don't care if there's 2 in the same half or anything like that, but just cannot do that. Let's be honest. New Mexico State, this is their Super Bowl. This is the highest price ticket of their whole season. This is the only group of 5. They do this every year. Last year it was Tennessee. Year before that year was A&M. Year before that they snuck one with Diego Pavia against Auburn. Guess what Auburn didn't do? They never turned over the ball, and they lost to Diego Pavia. Can't have a surprise player come off the New Mexico State side. Now, I'll guarantee a win right now. Florida State is going to win this game. It's just that it's your performance and your mistakes. Can't have too many penalties. Can't turn over the ball 2 or more times. Got to build momentum because you know what? The players and the audience needs to respect the coach.
I agree with you, and I think this is kind of comes to a delicate subject for Florida State fans. We saw back in 2021 where they lost to Jacksonville State. Everyone saw the Hail Mary pass at the end of the game, 59-yarder to win the game. I was in person right behind Derek Cooper's parents. The quarterback who actually was at Jacksonville State, his parents were sitting right in front of him. It's not a great environment, not something that Florida State fans are proud of. And on top of it, you look at this game and you're like, man, we cannot lose this game, but I'm not ruling out a loss. But you have to think about it, too. This is the New Mexico State team, other than 2023 when they did defeat Auburn with Diego Pavia, and they had over 8 wins. They have not had any 8-win season in their entire program history until it come down to 1960. They have had 2 times where they have had 8 wins or more since 1960. This is not a good program. Yeah. And I just say it again. I mean, if Florida State even comes close to losing this game, that is a major, major, major red flag.
After that Auburn win, their next biggest wins are a couple of bowl games against nobodies.
So Taylor, you said 3 and out, there's a possibility for some boo birds. You believe out the gate that there's a possibility that if things don't go their way, not even necessarily today or tomorrow, but even the following weeks to come, will the faithful fans, will they start booing right there on Doak Campbell?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not even going to be surprised to tell you that, like, if they do the starting lineups and they see Mike Norvell on the screen, I'm not going to be surprised we see a little bit of boos here and there because I honestly think that this fan base And Michael Alford had actually talked about this, the president of the Seminole Boosters and everything, and actually the athletic director, basically had talked about how the season ticket sales, they were at 20,000 the year before. Now they're at 17,000.
Wow.
3,000 less than what they were, and that's a big problem. Florida State fans need to have their boosters, especially if you want to open up those checkbooks, if you start winning again.
Wow. I didn't think about that. I just, it's funny when it happens to Roger Goodell when he comes out for the draft. It's kind of a thing now. But that would be, I used to be a police officer. That would be what you would call a clue that something ain't right if your fans are booing your head coach on the first day of the game. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing. We don't want to see that. With that being said, will you think at the half, or do you think they're going to let them come back out of the half if they are up big, that you're going to start seeing the second guys and the guys that need some reps? Do you think this game can be utilized to really be that practice kind of thing to get ready for that SMU game?
Yeah, so I do think there is going to be a lot of things you have to watch for, especially in that second unit. You look at the three-headed running backs that they have. They have an Usman Chroma, who I had addressed before, is going to probably be your bell cow. You have a Sam Singleton, who was formerly from Jacksonville, a guy that they really liked out of the 23 class, former four-star prospect. And then you got a guy like Trey Wisner, the running back from Texas that transferred into Florida State, had over 1,600 yards in his last 2 years at Texas. And I think when you look at that, and one of those three guys are probably not going to play as much in that first half. You need to see more of those guys in the second half. But then you factor in, too, Malachi Marshall, possibly a backup for Florida State this year. They really like him. He's gained over 14 pounds, was a JUCO national champion. He was the number one JUCO quarterback in this year's past recruiting cycle. He has 3 more years to play, and he could possibly be your starter for 2027. When you have an opportunity to play a guy like Malachi Marshall, and I'm not going to discount anything from Kevin Sperry because he's a former backup as well from last year's season, can he be able to emerge as well? But I think that if you think Malachi Marshall is your guy, you need to be able to play him in the second half, and you need to be able to see that production from him, not only from that, but Central Arkansas later on in the year. But if you're able to kind of play that guy, and he actually is able to show up, and not to say he's a threat for losing Ashton Daniels' job, but that is a huge momentum swing for his chances basically for 2027. And that's not something to shy away from because nobody's going to be watching that third quarter when we're up by 4 or 5 touchdowns. But Malachi Marshall will remember this moment.
We're talking with Taylor Devers of Norvell Central right here on the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. Taylor, I have to say there's one thing that you've said that I'm curious to know if that's really his thought process. I feel like Norvell is playing for his job this year. You know what I mean? And I wonder if the football coach in him just is going to just do the things that football coaches do, which is get prepared for the future. How will we know if Norvell really isn't planning on next year more than he knows that he's playing for his life this year?
Yeah, the thing that kind of confused me a little bit more was like, and I know he's not going to mention this in public or anything like that, but he was like, he was asked by some of the media members, are you playing for your job? Are you feeling like there's a lot of hot seat talk with you? Like, is there a lot of pressure to win now? And he's like, no, not really at all. And it seemed like it was such a careless response a little bit, like not really being aware of the situation that it is. And I get it. Mike Norvell doesn't want to put himself under the bus. He doesn't put his players under the bus. He's a very positive guy. He knows, he thinks he knows what it looks like, and he's said that phrase quite a bit. But I think a lot of times this is a year he has to basically go toward. And you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but my gosh, 7 wins in 2 years at Florida State is not what it needs to be. And so, if you win 8 wins this year, you cannot let that go from 8 wins to this year to 7 or 6 or 5 the next year, because then you're back in that downward trajectory again. And I think a lot of times when you look at that and you factor everything into that, how it plays out, you need to have sustainability. And I think with their front office moves that they've had, a couple of different recruiting cycles they've had in the trenches, I think this is going to kind of be the eye-opening moment that he had to have this offseason to say, hey, we got to have more than just 2026. We got to have 27 and 28 and 29 and get to that point of sustainability.
Well, that's going to be a curious thing. Well, Taylor, we're going to have to let you go because we got a break coming up. But I will tell you, man, be careful in the rain and, have a great time tomorrow at the game. We'll get with you so that we can talk about the game next week, my friend. We appreciate it. Taylor Devers from Norvell Central. Thanks so much, my friend.
Awesome. Thank y'all very much. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too. Something big is coming. On September the 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and all-day celebrations built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. That means Florida, from Texas to California. Every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September the 2nd, DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get pumped. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with code NWFlorida. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards with 21 days. That's code NWFlorida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim, issued in non-withdrawable prediction dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms DKNG-CO predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state. That was a mouthful, but when we come back, we are going to discuss a little bit more, and we are going to talk about a little bit more about this Florida State team and how many teams are in the same situation that Florida State's in this year. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Here's the thing about Alabama fans. They're defeated early by their expectations.
Right.
Yeah, they should get off to a great start. I just want to say one thing.
Defeated early by their expectations.
That's
like the slickest little shade thrown.
That's me every morning, bro.
Right.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ready to play? Welcome to DuPlay, your premier indoor destination for family fitness and total fun. DuPlay is designed for fun, movement, and skill building for all ages. Kids can explore our active playgrounds, while athletes and teams can utilize our turf fields, indoor soccer, batting cages, full basketball, and volleyball courts. With open play, training space, and structured activities, it's all inclusive at the new DuPlay in Panama City. Take a look now at DuPlayOnline.com. That's DuPlayOnline.com.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise, or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertisements I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow play at 3:10. That's the first pitch. They're going to be following the North Carolina TCU game from Ireland right here. 10:30 is the coverage time. 11 o'clock is the kickoffs. That's right. We got the early one tomorrow, so make sure you tune in at always 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. If you want to be a part of this show, all you got to do is call in on the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290. You can call in. You can text in on that line. You can also call in or not call in, but you can text on our Facebook page. We're live and local right there as well. I see all of the comments. Nate was talking about FSU is going to have to find their hearts. And he told Kyle to be nice because obviously Kyle's like, I don't know if they have hearts, but we know the Noles don't have brains. So he's pretty rough on them. And also, Christopher Monteconti said, take the spread versus Florida State. So, wow, he's go ahead and telling you to do that.
31
and a half.
That's tough.
That's tough to cover. Dominique Batiste says, Paul, you need an LSU hat. I disagree, Dominique. I'm sorry. No Tiger hat on my head for sure.
Only during Mardi Gras season does Paul wear purple.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll read what Kyle Albritton said. You would think FSU would be used to being awful at sports since Florida owns the all-time series in every sport against them except women's soccer and baseball, and we will easily have that soon. So there you go. I think that's pretty funny.
Now, the Florida Gators feed that I have, so this is not me looking in between the break because you saw me. I didn't look at anything on my phone. Earlier today, they were in my feed again because Gator fans love being in my feed. I don't know what it is. They just attracted to me. I don't Google them. I'm not obsessed like that.
They hear me say Gator hater, and they immediately come on your phone.
The number that Taylor Devers gave was different from what the Gators fans gave for the drop in the you know what it was? I realized it's a different number. He was saying it's 3,000 from last year.
Yes.
Yeah, in the last 3 years – the Seminoles season tickets have dropped from 34,080 down to 27,000. So they dropped 7,222 in a 3-year span. So that's more than an average of 2,000 a year dropping consistently. I know you have box suites. I know you have less season tickets to sell.
Right, because of the change that they made at Doak Campbell.
Because of the stadium. So these numbers are a little skewed just a little bit, but not by 7,000, let's be honest.
Right.
And you have to have that fan support. You can't have people booing. You almost want to have paid actors be in the stands to try and drown out the booing. No, I mean...
conspiracy is coming out in him.
It happened in Louisiana, but it wasn't a sports game. It was they were trying to get a electrical power plant built. Entergy was. And they paid actors to go to the city hall meeting and drown out the dissenters. They paid them to say, we want this electrical power unit. Who really wants an electrical power unit? Let's be honest.
Right.
Not just regular citizens. Those people were paid actors to be at the city hall meeting.
So to solve the Mike Norvell booing, they need to pay the actors to come in the seats.
To drown out the boos and be all for the Seminoles.
Right.
Yes.
Well, you can drown it out. All you got to do is get the
Pipe
band.
in the noise.
All you got to do is get the band to start doing the beat, baby. If you get the band to do the beat, they'll never know what the difference is.
Let's be honest, though. 17-7 at halftime, you're not going to be able to rest all your starters in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Am I right? It's got to be more than 10 points.
Yeah, it's got to be upwards of 3 to 4 touchdowns. That's where it needs to be.
Ooh, wow.
It's going to have to be. I mean, if you're talking about.
So 3 touchdowns, we're talking either 28-7 or 21-0 or 24-3.
Well, it's going to have to be.
That's
probably
lot,
more
Paul.
than that. I think it's going to have to be 28. Thinking about it now, because 21-0, I'm letting my quarterback come in and play in the third quarter.
Wow.
I am. I'm letting him play because we need to score.
Shoot.
We need to score. We need to try stuff. We need to see where we are because you don't get that next week. Like it's play ball next week, and those games matter against conference opponents now. So you got to use these games. It's just like Florida. Well, they got to use these games.
Next week they have a cupcake. They do.
I thought he was saying SMU is next week.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Bama game. You're right.
Yeah.
SMU's between that.
Yeah, then you got Bama.
So wait, this is week 0. They're probably off for week 1 and then play SMU and then play Alabama. I'm hoping.
But I'm just saying, like,
Wow.
for me, that's what I'm trying to do. It's just like Florida. Like, everything that you want to see with Philo, put him in that situation on Saturday when they play.
Yeah.
Everything you want to see out of Ashton Daniels, you got to let it play. You think Florida State is going to get rid of Mike Norvell if he don't win halfway through the season, 3/4 of the season?
The problem is that schedule's kind of weird, and losing to a Virginia along with the Miami. If you've already lost to SMU and Alabama, you're down with the 4 losses, and it's going to look dim. If you go 6-6, you're gone.
Yeah. So you think they probably are going to let him go out?
It depends how the season unfolds. I
mean, obviously,
you got to be at a Louisville or somebody.
If they go out, because they've got the toughest schedule in the ACC. Because if you look at it, they go New Mexico State,
they do
SMU, Alabama, Central Arkansas. Okay, so if you win New Mexico State and Central Arkansas, you got 2 wins there. Virginia was good last year. Louisville's supposed to be better this year. Miami's probably going to be great. Clemson, they're saying they're going to be good. Boston College should not be good. Pittsburgh is up and down. You never know. North Carolina State is up and down. You never know. And then you got Florida. I'm telling you right now, listen to me very carefully. Looking at that schedule, based off of this New Mexico State game, if they come out and look, I know these Florida State teams can look a certain way. I mean, they started out the year last year beating Alabama, and then the wheels fell off, and the rotors and the calipers and the brakes and everything on that
the offense could not score.
Everything broke after the Alabama game. They can't afford to do that with this schedule. This is the toughest schedule in the ACC.
It is.
And
all you're missing is Georgia Tech. That's the only good team you're missing.
And who even knows if Georgia Tech's going to be good with a new coordinator and a new quarterback?
And in the week part of the conference, you're not playing Syracuse and you're not playing Wake.
Right. So those are the teams you want to play. You want to play
some weak
You
ones.
want to play Syracuse.
Instead, you got like 1 weak one in there, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's Boston College.
Yes, it's Boston College.
That's it. I mean, gosh, you got the gamut after Central Arkansas. I mean, and again, don't get me wrong, ACC, I'm not saying they're the top dog, but man,
you're gonna have
I thought last year they were going to be better.
Down,
no,
and
you better
can't
not.
turn over the ball multiple times.
You've got to keep all of the games close. You got to get your quarterback to be able to get outside the pocket and go. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, man. Mike Norvell's gone this year. This is not. I mean, I'll get. You know what? I'll retract my statement. I'll wait until I see what they look like on Saturday. Until I see what they look like tomorrow, I'll hold my tongue because that schedule is daunting. That's a daunting schedule.
So you got 9 days till the SMU because it's a Monday night game. Then you have the bye, sort of. And then, because there's a 12-game span between SMU and Alabama.
Right.
So at least they have almost 2 weeks to prepare for Alabama. Everybody's going to be watching that SMU game because it's a Monday night game with no NFL.
Right. Yes, that's going to be the one that everybody watches. And when you think about it, if you look at the schedule, you've got SMU at home. Mm-hmm. You got Virginia at home.
Uh-huh.
You got Clemson at home.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this. This is the part that I don't like about their schedule. The Boston College game is not at home. That's not good. The Pittsburgh game, not at home.
That's a must-win right there.
That's not good.
The Pittsburgh game is a must-win.
Right, yes.
Because once you've got your 4 losses, you can't drop with the 5th one with Pittsburgh because you're going to be following it up with NC State and then the Gators. And the Gators going to hate, and the Gators going to be – they have it marked off on the schedule because, let's be honest, their schedule's kind of on the weak side as far as the SEC goes.
But if you look at the Gators, though, if you want to flip over and talk about the Gators, they circle this game because they know that they're a rebuilding year.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State is in a must-win year. These two programs are in 2 totally different areas. The Gators are looking forward to playing Florida State because they want to set John Summerall's new sentiment of what the Gator football is going to be, and he's trying to get to where the Gators are going to start off on the right foot and beat in-state rivals when they play them. Now, he wants to win every game, but he wants to beat Florida State. Mike Norvell just wants to have his job by the end of the season. That's the difference.
And the Gators have the luxury of playing Kentucky and Vandy right before the
Exactly. And look, you know as well as I do, Pittsburgh on any given Saturday can look like a almost playoff team. And the same thing about North Carolina State. We called them last year the most inconsistent team in America. And that's the biggest part about it. But when you look at how the differences of opinion is going to be with these two teams, the Gators, they're looking forward to that game. The Florida State Seminoles could be like, is this season over yet by the time they get to the Gators? Because you never know how many quarterbacks they've been through, if they got an interim of Tom Herman coaching the team at this point, and then who knows what's going to happen. So it's going to be tough, and it's going to be very interesting.
Before the break, you said something about other teams that could possibly be like Florida State. It's because of a tired fan base that feels like they're entitled to more wins and more success.
Yeah.
And the only ones I could really think of off the top of my hands, because there's been so many coaches got fired last year, it's very few and far between, but I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Yep.
They feel entitled. They aren't a top 10 SEC team. Let's be honest.
Correct.
But they think that they are.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're same deal as.
And they have a lot of fan support in that state. They're the flagship. And then maybe, just maybe, a Colorado. It just depends how tired they get of Deion Sanders.
Yeah. I mean, those are all great illustrations of that. And I'm going to throw one more in there. As far as the fan base goes, and this will be a shocker to you, it's Alabama. It's Alabama. They're not ready to fire him, but if he goes out and loses games against teams that he shouldn't, it's going to start.
Y'all play Oklahoma?
I'm just not this year, but thankfully. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing about it. You know, all of these teams, and you're exactly right, 100% spot on to the fact that all of these new coaches starting out, so everybody gets a little bit of a leash.
Yes, you do.
You get a little bit of grace. You get a little bit of that. Mike Norvell does not have any grace. The seat that he's sitting on is already turned on medium, all right? And when it gets hot, he's either going to leave himself or they're going to show him the door. And the thing is that, man, who knows what's going to happen? This year's going to be a crazy football season, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm excited about our next guest when we go to the break, man. I'm pumped up about it. You've been wanting to know, and so have I. We're going to have Chris Blair, the voice of the LSU Tigers, on right after the break. I'm so pumped up about it. We're going to go ahead and go to our break. And when we come back, I'm going to ask him questions about Kiffin and what the fan base is saying right now, because they're public enemy number one all across the country. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The brutal hits, the heartbreaking turnovers, the heroic comebacks.
In for the touchdown!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida delivers the biggest matchups of the week from across the nation.
Oh, yeah!
Your college football headquarters on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Likely thunderstorms and light rain the remainder of the day with a light breeze out of the south-southwest around 6 miles per hour and temps near 84. Tonight we will have light sprinkles and possible thunderstorms and be warm at 75. Likely thunderstorms throughout the day with mostly clouds at night tomorrow and a high 83. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. That means Florida, from Texas to California, every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with the code NW NW Florida. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code NW Florida in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook, prediction, and free-to-play sports contest availability varies by state.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to espnpc.com and click the contact button.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVOQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the new Sports Blitz. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290. The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the top. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
You did it. It's 5 o'clock. And we made it to the weekend. It's week 0, baby. And we are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. And we're so glad that you've joined us on this beautiful, not so beautiful day, but it's beautiful in our hearts. We're excited about it. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow take on the Colorado Rockies right after the North Carolina TCU game right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jeffrey's here, Bone Crusher's here, and we are delighted to join us today, the voice of the LSU Tigers, our friend of the show, Chris Blair. Chris, how are you today, my friend?
I'm great, man. It's Friday and a week away from kickoff for LSU. I know week 0 for college football fans starts tomorrow, so that's a season holiday for everybody. But I still got another week before we get to action and boot meets ball with Clemson and LSU at the real Death Valley.
Oh, man, it's going to be a night for the ages. I believe that game is going to be electric. But before we get into all of this actual football talk, I want to say thank you for hosting Jeffro, letting him come down there. I hope he acted correctly. I hope he represented us well. I hope he did not, have any, things that would kind of let
he clean out your fridge,
the inner Cajun come out in him. So thank you so much for having Jeffrey. And how was it to have Jeff in the building with you?
No, it was great. It was great to have representation from Florida there at the radio affiliate luncheon, and we had a good time. It was pretty quick and easy, and nobody had any hard questions, so it turned out to be a great day. So it was great to meet him, great to catch up, talk about the Tigers.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot to talk about. Now, Chris, I don't know if you guys are in a bubble or not, and I don't know if the fan base is protected from all the vitriol and all of the hate that has been coming out this past week due to the whole deal with the NFL players coming back to college and Coach Kiffin being on the phone and being on, trying to get in touch with Monken and all of these things. How is the fan base handling this? Because, honestly, a lot of fan bases are calling the LSU, the LSU program public enemy number 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that doesn't affect anybody here. We're not protected from it. We don't really care, to be honest with you. There's two things that stand out. Number one, Todd Monken obviously had to walk back his statement, over the week. And, again, not holding him to the fire, but it created a storm. And, of course, the media runs with it and acts like it's gospel. And come to find out it was completely incorrect.
Wow.
Secondly, a lot of college football fans, I guess, have made Lane and LSU enemy number one. I got a different take, and nobody's going to agree with me on this, but I got to be honest, guys. If I'm a college football fan, I'm probably thinking Lane Kiffin and LSU. I mean, frankly, they're the only people that have gotten anybody from the NCAA or the SEC or any conference for that matter to put some kind of rules. Again, you can say, well, that wasn't what LSU was intending. They were trying to get some players on their team. Yeah, that's true. But the fact of the matter is we live in an absolutely lawless Wild West of college athletics, especially college football. And the fact that whether or not this stands, doesn't stand, what happens in 2 days, 2 months, whatever, the fact that we were able to get some semblance of, okay, this is too far. Okay, maybe it is too far, but nobody said it was. And, the other thing that's a little irritating and, frankly, quite funny is that LSU is not the only school that was on this train. Mm-hmm. Now, LSU might have been the only school that was willing to put their name on it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of schools and a lot of coaches that basically are sitting back going, okay, if LSU gets this done, then tell our guy we're good. And that's just the fact of the matter. That's not me guessing. That's an absolute fact. So, again, LSU is used to being the heel. We love being the heel, and, frankly, we don't care. Fan base doesn't care, and so far it doesn't look like the school or the football program at all cares. They were simply saying there is no rule to stop this, and until you put a rule in to stop it, what's to keep us from doing it? And the answer to that is absolutely nothing. Again, a bigger comment on the fact that NCAA and college athletics is a complete you-know-what show right now. And for anybody to get angry at a particular school or coach for trying to get a competitive advantage seems quite silly and kind of useless, in my opinion.
If anything, Lane Kiffin was a decoy because, Paul always says, LSU fans are toxic and everything. Well, guess what? We decoyed you to the coach, and then you're complaining about the coach, and then we just have to sit back and watch the coach take all the heat and everything. But, what was surprised me was there were Gator fans who were saying afterwards, they were basically saying, well, I want a coach that wants to do whatever it takes to win. And I was surprised by that.
Well, I think if you're being honest with yourself and not on social media trying to get clicks, most fans, I think if you reverse the roles and put their coach and their university in that spotlight, I don't know how many are coming out going, no, I'm not going to any games. I do not approve of this. I do not want our team to have a – come on. It's a bunch of hypocrisy. But the best news is nobody here in Baton Rouge gives a rat's ass, and nobody inside that football building cares. So they can make a rule. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days leading up to kickoff. I don't think LSU is in the business of breaking rules. Again, they did not break any rules. There were no rules. There are no rules. Mm-hmm. We'll see if this one stands. And I have no doubt, I don't have inside information, but LSU is going to go by the rules. I think that's what was kind of, the funniest part of all of this was like the absolutely holier-than-thou response from everybody as if they had done something illegal. And the truth is they hadn't.
Man, Chris, you know what? I am so glad you come on the show today. I am so glad you gave the response you just gave because you know what? When LSU fans have something to fight about and go after, that's what makes college football so good. And the voice of the LSU Tigers is I made you cuss today, Chris, and I love it, man. I'm pumped up just as much as you are. So that's exactly right. That's exactly the point I wanted you to make, and I love it. I love a fired up, ready to go, new coach, ready to get this game started, getting on the field and putting it all in, putting to show everything we've been working towards. I want to talk about a little bit more of the X's and O's. What is this team looking like? Where is Sam Leavitt in all of this? Is he fully practicing? Is he ready to go? Is he zipping the ball around? What can we expect to start seeing from Sam Leavitt and hearing out of Baton Rouge down there?
Yeah, taking in a couple of practices, I mean, Sam looks good to go. There's a lot of speculation because he shut it down in spring camp, make sure he healed properly, got rehab properly, and then, of course, the clickmongers out there saying, "Ooh, is he ready? Is he 100%?" Yeah, he is, and looks great. Again, he's going to fit in nicely into the type of style of offense that Coach Kiffin wants to run, and Coach Weiss will be orchestrating as offensive coordinator because he can beat you with his legs, he can extend plays with his legs, and he can put the ball on the money. And he's got a talented group of receivers, highlighted obviously by Trey Green, among others. But the fact of the matter is, the Lane Kiffin offense has to have success running the football, and certainly Sam Levitt's going to be a big part of that. The fact that now you have a quarterback that not only can run when he needs to improvise or extend the play, you can also design some runs for him, along with a pretty talented stable of running backs, with Harlem Berry returning, the transfer from Wisconsin. So, again, I think you're going to be able to open that passing game up.
Are you still there? I think we might have lost him for just a second.
Someone pulled the plug.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Him back.
But, yeah, you can call him back. But he makes a great point, and the question that I'm going to ask him once he gets him back is about that talented group that he's got. If this is going to be the most talented team that Lane Kiffin has ever been the head coach of at the college level, because
with the exception of the Alabama coordinator job.
Right, correct.
Yes.
I'm talking as head coach.
Yeah.
Because realistically, this is an LSU team who's loaded with talent, who's got bunches of people there, and that's the biggest part of it all.
Is this his second chance? Because when he was at USC, he had some talent and everything. He just didn't have everything crossed as far as like being ready for the big time.
Right. Yeah. And same thing with Tennessee. I feel like he did not have everything he needed. Yeah. And still, he was young.
Well, he didn't spend enough time there.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't there very long. Yeah. But it's a different style of football too. He now has been in the SEC for a few years, not only being a coordinator but being a coach. Now you kind of know. Back then, he didn't really know. He was just coming back to the college game, coming into the college game,
Raiders,
going that way. I think we've got Chris back. Chris, I wanted to go into after you had said that about it. Do you think that this, as far as a head coaching job, and maybe he's alluded to it, whether or not Kiffin believes that this team is his most talented group that he's had ever as a head coach?
I don't know that I have heard Coach Kiffin utter that exactly. He has certainly, since fall camp began, really talked about the excitement he has for this team because of the talent and because of what they did in spring ball and really the cohesiveness that everybody's concerned about when you go to a new place and you assemble a new staff and virtually a new roster. But, as Lane has said many times, that the last couple of years, even when you're at the same place, you're turning over a complete roster. But I think so. I don't know that he said this is the most talented team because goodness knows suddenly I'll be quoted on Twitter and Ole Miss fans will be all over me. But I know he's very happy with it. And I mentioned to a lot of people that when you get past spring football this year, Coach Kiffin and the football program as a whole kind of just went to work. There was a whole lot of noise, a lot of swagger and trash talk in January and February and even some in March. And then I think as a total unit, taking the cue from the head coach, everybody kind of said, okay, we've done some talking. People have talked back. It's time now to go to work because ultimately, starting on September 5th, the only thing that matters is what we do on the field. So, I don't know that Lane has gone overboard talking about, how awesome this team is or how talented they are. I just think he knows he has assembled a very good team of players. He's got a great group of coaches. He's got a good mix of young and old veteran players who have been in the SEC battles. So I think he's pretty confident with the group he's going to roll out there on the 5th.
So the other day, on Tuesday, I had Coach John Summerall on the show, and I was asking him about the season, and, he gave the good answer of, it's game by game. We as fans, people as fans, they always have dates circled. They always have these times circled. Do you think Coach Kiffin has that, or do you think he's more focused on just week by week who's going to be across the field from him, and he really doesn't look forward necessarily to that Tennessee game that everybody's talking about and the Ole Miss game that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody immediately says, well, that's coach speak. Everybody's said that for years.
Yeah.
You know, the next game's the most important. I get that. But, you know, being around Coach Kiffin, and he and I visited last Thursday, and I was trying to kind of talk to him about, you know, the schedule and the difficulty of this year's schedule, because he's got some marquee matchups, but they're big-time matchups. And he literally was like, Chris, I'm looking at September 5th. We got a Clemson team coming in.
Yeah.
We'll worry about, you know, McNeese and Louisiana Tech and the rest of the SEC schedule, you know, as we get there. And I think that's really his approach. I think he really hones in and focuses on what's right in front of him at the very moment. So, you know, again, I think a lot of coaches really do that. I think Coach Kiffin certainly does in his own personal approach to the game. And I think his only concern is making sure that the players and even the staff feel that way as well, because it's one heck of a schedule. There's no doubt about it. Not that there's an easy SEC schedule, but I would put LSU's up there as one of the tougher when you look at who they play on the road on top of who they play at home.
He's got to take it week by week because you get back-to-back Ole Miss and Texas A&M. And then in November, you have, Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee, back-to-back-to-back. The front end of the schedule, nobody has a harder September. I mean, Clemson, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's
nobody's
hard.
got that. I'm looking past Louisiana Tech, whatever. But and in November, first 3 weeks, I mean, I'm not even talking about Arkansas at the end, because 3 weeks in a row like that, you have to take it week by week.
No question about it. I mean, people have asked me from time to time over the last couple of weeks about the Alabama matchup on November 7th, and, of course, as you said, the Texas matchup. And it's like, guys, you know, we'll get there when we get there, because you could be looking at some absolute top-draw heavyweight battles depending on where LSU is, depending on where Ole Miss is, again, early in the season, where Texas A&M is in the first couple of weeks of the season. And then, oh, by the way, by the time you roll into that tough November end of the schedule, you know, how good and what the record is for, say, a Texas, for an Alabama, for an LSU. I mean, suddenly you've got primetime eyeball center of the college football world, you know, week after week after week. So there's no question. There's no reason to prepare for anybody but the team right in front of you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, that's what you want to hear from your coach. Obviously, as fans, everybody's always looking ahead. I want to ask you a question, and I'm just curious to know your take on this, because obviously you were there when Brian Kelly was there, and now you're there with Lane Kiffin. Talk about, like, give us the backstory or the backstage, you know, access right here, and tell us what's different about being with these guys and how they run their programs, and then maybe tell us some things maybe you've noticed that's kind of similar with those guys, because we know that they're two different style of guys, but we do know that they're both professional, that they've both been in the college football game for a long time now, and I'm just curious to know what your take on some of that is.
You know, again, just from watching and taking in practice, I would say, you know, the biggest difference for me is it's a little more boisterous. I mean, there's music playing nonstop. I mean, it's, you know, probably from Lane's, you know, downloads, because it seems that he and I are the same age, and it seems to be filled with a lot of 90s and 2000s, although it does have some new stuff. But when you go to practice and they crank it up, man, it's not quiet. It's not just whistles and footballs being heard. I mean, it is a lively and roaring atmosphere at practice in all phases. That's a little bit different than the previous administration. I mean, to me, that's the biggest difference. I mean, when you go into the football building, you know, I've been around, 4 different coaches now here at LSU. They all have a system. You know, Les Miles had a system when I got here. Coach Ed Ogeron had a system. Coach Kelly had a system, and Lane Kiffin has a system. You know, there's not a lot of wasted time, at least when you walk into that building. There's people moving with a purpose virtually all day, any hour of the night. So that's the similarity. But I think I don't want to say loose, because to the outside person, yes, practice looks a little looser because there's a little more oomph, there's a little more, you know, swagger, if you will. But there's plenty of work being done. I mean, that's the thing that's also similar, and I guess you would see that probably at every Division I and for that matter, maybe even high school football. There's no wasted time. I mean, it's the horn blows, the loudspeaker comes on, tells what station to get to, man, and they are running. Not walking, not jogging, they're sprinting. There's probably, when they change drills, there's probably no more than 20, 25 seconds before the next drill starts.
Wow.
So they're moving. So not only is it a fast-paced offense in the game, everything about Coach Kiffin's program is moving swiftly.
Have you got to touch base and see and even have a conversation with Coach O since he's been back? That was another one of those questions that I wanted to kind of get behind the scenes on because, you know, you spent a lot of time with him as well. Have you got to see Coach O since he's been there?
Yeah, a couple of high fives at practice when he's been, hanging around there at the football building. And I personally was just thrilled to have him back because I had a great time in the years that I worked with Ed Ogeron because, again, he's a guy that knows how to put in the work, and goodness knows he's put in the work over the years. But he has a lot of fun. Like, football is fun, and I know the game has changed, and there's NIL, and there's transfer portal, and everybody complains that it's not the way it used to be. I'll give Ed O some credit. He's insistent that playing football, coaching football, being around football is fun. So I look forward. Hopefully he's going to be one of our guests this season on Lane Kiffin's radio show when we visit with an assistant or staff member. He and I will reunite for the show and probably tell some old stories. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, I mean, people can say what they want about Coach O and some of the choices he made. But I'll tell you this, the guy, when you're around him, just seeing him, he looks like he just likes to have fun. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. And, man, I'm excited about this season. And, when we get going, if you could make some time for us, I sure would appreciate it. And we always thank you for taking out your time to be with us.
No, absolutely. Anytime. As long as the censors will have me back, just call me up. We'll talk football anytime you want.
All right, man. Thank you so much. The great Chris Blair, the voice of the LSU Tigers, joining us right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. When we come back, we are going to dive into a little bit of NFL and a little bit of college. So do you want to stick around and hear this? Because, man, the Cleveland Browns have got a mess on their hands. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Is Paul right or is Paul wrong? Call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
I want to say something to Coach Hale.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what kind of football coach you were, but you one hell of a radio man.
Don't tell him that. I was even better. I was even better.
His head just took up the whole room.
Yeah, you'll never get out the door now.
Let me tell you how good I was. I could take his and beat yours, and take yours and beat his.
We just lost him. He hung up on us.
He hung up. I started bragging on myself.
Yeah.
Who ran a fake punt 2 times in a row?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
From inside his own 40.
Oh, yeah.
They'll never think.
Inside her own 30.
That's a true story. I said, y'all don't know which one of y'all call them plays, but I was like, they'll never think we'll do this again. He goes, I'm telling you, don't do it, because he was defense coordinator. We're going to be embarrassed. I'm telling you, that's
James, what are you doing? Don't run it again.
No. No one would think nobody's that stupid. And sure enough, they stopped at that. And I turned around and started yelling at one of the assistant coaches. All the players were yelling and screaming at me. Crazy.
Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For tonight, possible thunderstorms and mostly clouds, and a low of 76 with a light breeze out of the east-southeast around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning, very light rain and possible thunderstorms with temps around 83. In the afternoon and evening, a variety of mostly clouds and possible thunderstorms and a temperature near 85. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Get behind the wheel of an exciting new 2026 Kia model where advanced technology, confidence-inspiring safety, and premium comfort come together for every drive. Looking for an SUV? Check out the stylish new 2026 Kia Sportage or the family-ready new 2026 Kia Sorento. And if you need more room, the innovative new 2026 Kia Carnival MPV delivers SUV-inspired design with plenty of room for all of your adventures. Bringing style and performance together, experience the bold new 2026 Kia K4 and new 26 Kia K5. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the original 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, giving you peace of mind that you can trust. Visit Bill Bird Kia at 2435 East 15th Street in Panama City or online anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Bill Bird Kia, your local community dealer, where we treat you like family. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
The phone lines are open, the opinions are flowing, and the arguments are just getting started.
You cannot give LSU extra opportunities. With just one loss, they can sneak in there.
They're playing championship football.
The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson is back, and we're putting you in the game.
He has not turned the ball over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. We had a little bit of a programming error. The Braves will be on the air tonight. First pitch is at 6:15 following the game tonight, so there you go.
We had
Braves.
a bone crusher error.
Well, that's okay. The Braves and the Colorado Rockies right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. They're going to be going after it. Jeffrey's here. I'm here. Don't forget, tonight, I'm going to be over at the Tommy Oliver Stadium watching the Mosley Dolphins take on Godby, and should be a great one for the Mosley Dolphins, hopefully tonight, to get the win. Another tough opponent. Last week's win was really good. Bay and Bluntstown is going to be playing tonight at Bluntstown, so hoping Bay can pull that off. Then you got Rutherford and Bozeman playing to each other tonight at Bozeman, so hopefully you see that. Arnold is going to be traveling over, I believe they've got the Walton Braves. That's who they're going to be playing. So we'll see how that goes. And then North Bay Haven, they're going to be at home tonight as well. So make sure that you send us your S&W Diesel Sports Blitz Player of the Week nominees all on our Facebook. You can start doing it tonight. You can send it over on our messenger, or you can do it on our post. We will see it. We make sure we get it all. Make sure you write the name and the stats. Now, we'll take the stats only. When we do our voting, we've got a panel of 8 people, and we will be doing the voting after tonight, and we'll see what goes on. And, man, last week's winner was Mosley's defensive lineman, Cole Archambault. And great game that he had. And we've got sponsors signing up, so there's going to be more gifts. It's going to be awesome for our S&W Diesel Sports Blitz Player of the Week. S&W Diesel, the marquee sponsor of the award, and we appreciate them. Mickey and Brandon and all of those guys over there, they do a fantastic job. If you need diesel work done in the Panhandle, they're a definite competent shop that'll take good care of you. They've been in the business for a very long time, and they know exactly how to work on diesels. Diesels are a different animal. When you got those diesels blowing that black smoke, that thing's a little different than the old V6 gassers. So make sure that you go see S&W Diesel, and they will be very thankful. And tell them Paul sent you from the Sports Blitz. Jeffrey, let's talk about the interview for just a minute when we just had with Chris Blair of the LSU Tigers. Do you feel like that's every LSU fan based off of how he responded? He had a little aggravation in his voice. Mm-hmm. He spoke with urgency that, hey, look, you can try to blame us all you want.
Yeah.
You know, and
you're not going to break us up. We're like a whole unit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And every team, it's us against the world. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, it's us against the world. That's what it is. And if you got a team that's like that, I'm all for it. Let's go for it.
If you're walking by a tailgate and you're wearing, purple and gold, it's like your cousins. It really is.
Yeah.
They're going to give you food, They're going to talk
to you.
drink.
Yeah, you want something to drink?
We don't care who your best favorite player is or anything like that,
Right.
We're cousins.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
how it
like
is.
it's a family tradition.
It is.
It's like we're all in this together, brother.
It could be, Cajuns and North Louisiana people. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You're all in the same family when it comes to the games.
Yeah, when you're wearing purple and gold and you're walking down.
You're standing out.
Yep, you're together, especially
And
when
I'm
you're at away games.
I'm very proud of you. With the Archambault, you're now working towards being bilingual.
That's exactly
Next week
right.
we'll have you cursing in Cajun French, and
Oh,
nobody
my
will know.
gosh, nobody knows. Oh my gosh! But you're right. Thankfully, I was able to figure that one out. Cajun being my second language now.
You're right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it is. I'd love to dive in even more. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of time to dive into the differences between. He gave us a little bit of the difference. I just wonder how they run their programs differently. And my question down the road is going to be how's Lane Kiffin when the lights aren't on? Is he a normal guy, or is he is what you see what you get? That I want to know. I just do. It's the same thing that when I get around some of these college coaches, some of these high school coaches, whatever, I want to know the backstory. Are you who you portray, or are you a little different?
No, I think he's a person that when you get behind the scenes, you'll see that he's at face value. He's not like really two-faced as much. He just comes out and says what he believes, and it's kind of irrelevant. He's a visual person that you could just tell it from.
Yeah. Well, I do have some good news I wanted to share with everyone listening, especially my Florida Gator fans. I've been accepted, and I do have the credentials this year to go to the Florida Gators at the Swamp. So Paul Wilson will be going. I will be going live at the Swamp on Saturdays on the games that I'm going to be there covering it. And I'm really excited about that. So hopefully I can get us some good quotes, hopefully get some players and some coaches, and get us some really good insight from the games.
Look, no knock on Lenore Sellers, right, for South Carolina and all that, but the top four teams, their offense is going to be better than last year. I think the only one that I'll yield to is, as far as LSU goes, is Florida. Their offense is going to be a lot better than last year. Probably third and fourth is probably Texas and Auburn. Am I right? Florida, LSU, Texas, Auburn.
Texas had a couple of those games that they really did well, so it skews the numbers if you're going to go by straight up stats. But if you're talking about explosive plays, if you're talking about being able to score in bunches,
a lot,
that will be something that I agree with you on. I think that's probably going to be the stats.
So would you say that Florida is going to be the most improved on offense in the whole entire SEC? Because that's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's a good chance because Auburn was so bad last year with their offense. They were a defensive-driven team.
Yeah, so until the last three games.
Stats-wise, Auburn could be the one that might give them a little, chance.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the winning football games and being in football games from a year ago, I think, yes, definitely give me the Gators. I think the Gators are going to be I'm going to go ahead and say it, the most improved team in the conference. I think they will make a big stride forward.
Well, definitely from 4-8 to 8-4.
That would be huge.
It's not many teams that can even do that because, I mean, Texas went 9-3. Let's be honest. You can't win 4 more games because you'd be winning a national title.
Right, correct. And that's the thing. Usually the team that has the biggest flip is the team that was the worst. And so, the Gators were one of the bottom teams of last year's SEC. And so with all of that being said, do you out of all the new coaches, it sounds like you're really trusting the offensive coordinator, Buster Faulkner, coming over from Georgia Tech at Florida.
Yes. And I feel like the depth there at Florida on offense is already there. I mean, what'd you lose? You lost Lagway?
Yeah.
I mean,
on
offense,
the offensive
you really
line,
didn't lose a whole lot.
Yeah, correct. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, and the schedule. No Miami, no South Florida. Your SEC schedule got weaker just a little bit. 8-4 is not just a possibility, but they could be looking at 9-3.
Wow, really? Wow.
I mean, well, what are you going to do? I mean, if you slip up, if you win one that you're not supposed to win, and then you lose to Auburn, you're still back at 8-4.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people. I went on Buddy Martin's podcast yesterday and last night with Ben Troop and Franz Bearden, and those guys were real big into about 8-4. Mm-hmm. They were 8-4.
They'd be happy with it.
They'd be very happy with it. Buddy's at 7-5 with me. I'm at 7-5 right now.
Because that Auburn game.
Not necessarily the Auburn game. It's just, you've got a first-year quarterback playing in the SEC, and it's different. As much as Georgia Tech being a backup to Haynes King there, being a part of a team, but when you come in to start and you're the starting quarterback in the SEC, the only good thing about it is that Florida's schedule is way better this year than last year. That's going to help them a lot. And again, when you've got somebody like 13, you remember what Summerall said, it's pretty easy when you got 13 in the backfield. And that's going to be a big deal. If Jaden Ball can be the Jaden Ball of last year, but then take another step, I mean, we're talking about, Caleb Love, Bijan Robinson territory with this guy's athleticism and ability to be able to be, that well of a player. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. I'm looking forward to seeing it in real life.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the biggest part for me. With my credentials, I'm going to be in the press box, with the media, I'm going to be on the sidelines, all of that. It's going to be an exciting time.
Is an hour and a half or 2 hours good enough for the tailgate?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
You're going to walk it out. You're going to have to.
Yeah, I'm going to
have to see the sights.
I'll do that, and I might take you guys with me. Might go live and maybe go on into some of the tailgates. I think that'll be really fun, interesting, just to give you a look at what it's like in Gainesville doing a tailgate, and that would be really interesting. So I'm going to do that this year. It's going to be fantastic, and give everybody a behind the scenes look at what goes on at the Swamp. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that. And my message to the Gator fans is, 8-4 would be amazing. 7-5, 6-6. No matter what happens this year, you've got a great new coach, and I think Summerall could be the coach of the Florida Gators for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens this year, let's give it some time to develop.
Oh, yeah, and to build on. I mean, this guy's a football guy. I mean, you can tell by talking to him. He's a football guy. I believe he breathes and sleeps and eats football. And you can just tell by his mantra, the way he acts. I saw that he brought in today at practice, he had Justin Gaethje there, the UFC champ that just fought at the one at the White House. I can't remember what number it was. They all run together for me. I enjoy watching them. I watch them. But, Justin Gaethje, though, he was there talking to the team, and it was kind of cool to watch. But something that you might not think, Summerall looked bigger than him. Summerall's bigger than Justin Gaethje. Yeah, wow. He was. So Summerall's not a small guy. But yeah,
did he play linebacker?
Yeah, he played linebacker at Kentucky. So, but yeah, that's going to be a really fun time to experience this season with the media credentials with the Gators. So, do you believe, talking about these programs? I guess you kind of already said it. Last year we did this. Again, don't forget, we're going to be doing our 1-year anniversary show very soon. It's going to be awesome. We've been here for a year now, and I'm so thankful for that. Last year we talked about, I was 100% wrong. I said Brent Venables was going to be on the hot seat, and he never lost his job.
No.
And actually he got an extension, like Todd Golden. Don't forget, the Gators have extended Todd Golden. I don't know what that means necessarily. They extended him for 6 years.
Wow.
But again, man, if the Gators basketball program wins a title, the dude's going to the NBA. It's a guarantee. Todd Golden is going to go to the NBA. I know it's not basketball season, but I brought that up today.
The longevity of college basketball coaches, as soon as Syracuse, Boeheim, and other coaches have left, do you think that that's a thing of the past?
I just think that these guys, once they kind of conquer and win, when they're younger, if you look at Billy Donovan, he was younger, he went. When you look at Rick Pitino, he was younger, he went. Mm-hmm. When you look at these guys that do make the jump, John Calipari was young when he went.
Yeah.
All these guys will go because he never went. But think about this. What did all of those guys that I just named do? They went. They were not very successful, except for Donovan. He hadn't come back yet. But all those other ones came back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you go young, if you're not successful, any big-time program, a Blue Blood, will take you back, no doubt, because you've had success before.
Yeah.
And so, and if you look at what Cal's done at Kentucky, now at Arkansas, and if you look at what Patino did by coming to Louisville, won, and then now he's at St. John's. I mean, those guys come back and won national titles from the pros. So if Golden does decide to go and then he comes back, he could be successful. So just a little bit of basketball news right there. It's raining, so you know that the kids cannot get outside. There's no way you can practice. There's no way, if the fall leagues are going, that you can practice. So you know what you can do? You can go to DuPlay. 287 Aberdeen Parkway, right there beside the Lynn Haven Sports Complex. It's the place to go for when it's raining or if it's too hot outside. Get those kids over there. Get them active. There's basketball courts. There's volleyball courts. There's turf fields, all of that. You can get them going right there at DuPlay. You can check out their website at duplayonline.com, and you can go to their Facebook page at DuPlay. Now, another one of our great sponsors, I hate to say it this way, when it's raining, you know what happens. People misjudge their stopping distance. They follow too close. Oh, man, I hit some water and I hydroplaned. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, you're going to have those things that happen. And when you do, it's great to call the professionals. And we know the professionals. Recommended Collision Center right there at 1328 Jinx Avenue in Panama City. Their phone number is 850-763-2471. Brandon, the two Brandons, Brandon squared, can get you taken care of. And Jake's there as well, too. Don't want to leave him out. Those guys know what they're doing. They've got state-of-the-art technology. They know exactly how to get your vehicle back to running shape, but not just running shape. They get it back to storefront, showroom shape. And the thing I love about what Brandon said the other day is he cleans your car inside and out. So he gives it back to you better than it was before the wreck. And I love that. So go see them. Again, Recommended Collision Center right there on Jinx Avenue. Jeffrey, what do you got for us today?
Well, what season is it? It's football season, right?
That's right.
So guess what kind of menu that they have for the weekend?
Who?
Brunch and football menu at the Deckhand Social.
Oh, man, food and brunch.
And guess what tomorrow is? It's the weekend, baby.
It is.
So they not only do brunch on Sunday, but they do on Saturday.
Wow.
So the Deckhand Social, it's down Navy Boulevard on your left-hand side right before the Lagoon Bridge.
Right over the bridge, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you go over the bridge, and it's to the left. Yes,
okay.
Right across the water from Captain Anderson's. So, yeah, you can see all of the
So it's on the south side.
Yeah, that's
of the
correct.
Bridge.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
I would have been swimming.
Yeah, you'd have just went off the bridge.
Yeah.
Don't do like Jeff and jump over the bridge.
No.
You know, just stay right there. But either way, when we come back, we're going to dive into – we've got to talk about some NFL quarterbacks. And you don't want to miss it because, you know what? I'm shocked about some. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Is Paul right or is Paul wrong? Call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike three.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play.
Looking for your next reliable ride? Don't break the bank. Cruise on down to Emerald Coast Auto Sales. From spacious family SUVs to sleek fuel-efficient sedans, we have an incredible selection of quality pre-owned vehicles waiting just for you right here on our lot at Emerald Coast Auto Sales. Drive home happy today. Emerald Coast Auto Sales, 2815 15th Street, right across the street from Cedar Grove Elementary.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
Football season is right around the corner.
Touchdown!
And 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has an unbelievable schedule of college and NFL games. Do you own a business, want to reach more customers? Put the power of ESPN Northwest Florida to work for you. Advertising opportunities are available right now. For more information, call 850-215-4468 or go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Alan Watson from Gulf Plus in Panama City Beach.
When we first came to Panama City Beach to launch our business, we didn't really have a voice, and we didn't have any way of letting people know that we were here and we were new. ESPN Radio has given us a way to reach our audience, which is sports fans, because of being in the golf industry. And we've managed to grow the business while staying on the radio for 6 straight years. So it's been the kind of thing that's really helped us to grow. It's brought in the most business, and it's the thing that we're recognized for and people associate us with. I couldn't be happier with our association with ESPN Radio.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. That's ESPNPC.com and click contact.
Vance Dooley and the Georgia damn Bulldogs, baby.
Now back to Herschel Walker, Texas Ranger.
For you are now the original Gator hater.
It's the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Herschel Walker and the Georgia damn Bulldogs.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight take on the Colorado Rockies. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. The Braves on the Gulf Coast are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here in the Panhandle. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. The Tropical Spas and Pools phone line, 850-215-6290. It's Friday, and we always do the shades and accolades for Jeffrey, and I am so excited because you never know who Jeffrey's going to fit on this segment because he's always got crazy people that he is loving and hating. So, Jeffrey, without further ado,
the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's time for Jeff Shades and Accolades. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? Everybody's looking at LSU and giving them the blame. Guess who's the real bad boys?
Tell us.
It's the judges and the lawyers. Nobody's talking about them dang lawyers and judges. And you keep on saying that the lawyers are making money. Well, guess what? I found out, there's people banking this. Lil Wayne is one of them in Atlanta.
Wow.
He's banking people to have lawsuits against the NCAA.
Wow.
People are causing problems with giving money to lawyers to start these cases in different states, and it's causing disruption. They're like anarchists.
Yeah.
So it's not just the lawyers and the judges, it's people doing the bankrolls for that. Because lawyers don't do pro bono like this.
Right.
Unless they're getting some type of agent fee, from the player.
Yeah, there's something.
And they're multiple players. It's not just like, 5 guys in that court case in Dallas. It was more than that, Paul.
Yeah. It was like 22 or 41, I think
it was a ridiculous amount. And you gave 3 names, and you only knew like 1 or 2 of them. It wasn't like huge names or anything like that. Everybody keeps on looking at the LSU thing. And there's still – those guys are still talking about playing with LSU starting tomorrow.
Yeah, and the court was in Dallas is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's no Cajuns involved. Oh, there are some Cajuns in Dallas, but we won't talk about them. They're traitors. Probably Cowboy fans or something worse.
Wow.
No, so yeah, my shades and accolades go to the whole court system.
Oh, man.
It's horrible. And probably I should give accolades to Wisconsin law enforcement. Because,
Why?
They keep the streets safe from people like Tony Romo and Josh Jacobs and everything. So,
wow.
But that's not what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to have to give it to the Braves.
Yes, come
And
on.
Is it Chris Sale?
Yes.
Is it Chris Sale?
Start the music, Bone Crusher.
Yeah. Is it a chant? I hope it's not a Seminole chant. Oh, my goodness. I call that a Seminole chant.
It is not. This is for the Atlanta Braves, my friend.
Who stole it from who, Paul?
This is the Braves. I don't care where it came from. Atlanta is your daddy.
The sweep. I didn't see the sweep coming, did I, Paul?
No, you did not.
No, I did not.
But I'm
it was a close one, but that's all it counts is you get the W.
That's exactly
so
right.
when we go to the playoffs, this could be second round.
Yeah, it could be.
But it'd be kind of weird because that means the Brewers are the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers would be the 2 and the 3, or they'd be the 2 and the 6, I guess, is the only way they could really match up. I don't know which path you like better. If they were the 5,
I don't care.
But probably not. But the sad part is that you'd have to go through the Dodgers to get to the Brewers. So you're going to have a double back-to-back like that.
It's going to be tough regardless. That's why I don't care which way you go. I mean, you know what I mean? Every which way is bad, so let's roll.
Any type of scenario, you just got to get through it. You would hope that the Brewers and the Dodgers would be on one side, but that's not going to be the case.
No.
Nobody's going to steal those divisions from those two teams. I don't see the Cubs stealing it from the Brewers. The Brewers have to tank.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it to Chris Sale. Complete game, 11 strikeouts, 9 innings. I mean, what more can you do against the back-to-back world champions?
That's
I mean,
right.
It's when the chips are down. And having a weak opponent now, you can kind of coast in, maybe save a little bit of time on some of your stars and all that, maybe get a catcher in and give some relief at the catcher position, and then, boom, you're going to Philadelphia for a 4-game series.
Yes, 4. I know it's big. I hope they just don't look forward and throw these 2 games, though. I mean, I hope
3 games.
3 games. I hope we win the series still, but I hope we come in and do what we want to do.
Well, it's a pathetic team. The Rockies are bad.
They are. They're bad. So hopefully we'll get them, though.
Are they the worst team in the NL? I'm going to call them.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. Except for probably when they're playing at home in the thin air.
In the thin air. Nobody can breathe.
All right, so let's move on to the last part of this show. And this is crazy to me. The Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders quarterback battle. Todd Monken has spoken.
Yeah.
He likes Deshaun Watson better. He's got more history with Shedeur Sanders and Deion, but he chose Deshaun Watson. I don't know if we've ever had so much from the media and the fans trying to push a player like they do Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to make a statement, and I don't know if this is going to make anybody mad or not. It has nothing to do with Deion. It has nothing to do with anything. All it says to me, all this statement that I'm about to say is saying what I really believe. I do not believe that Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback. I don't believe Shedeur Sanders can lead a team and be the quarterback of that team and be successful. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. When other players that are playing against him call him the dump down champion, the dump down king, that lets me know that all he does is just dink and dunk and doesn't throw the ball down the field. And when he does throw it down the field, somehow, some way it gets tipped or touched or is thrown behind and it gets picked off. Look, I get it. Everybody wants to throw up the Rolexes and wave them side to side, but Diddy's in jail, baby. We're not talking about that. Shedeur Sanders does not deserve a starting quarterback position in the NFL. Not my opinion. It's the Cleveland Browns' opinion. Deshaun Watson hadn't played good football in 4 years, and he beat Shedeur Sanders out to be QB1 for the Browns. Now, if the Browns don't win, whatever. But I'm just saying the Browns have picked their quarterback, and they thought Deshaun Watson gives them the best chance to win. That's it. Todd Monken's a rookie coach. You think he's just going to put somebody in because they owe him a lot of money? No, he's there so he don't lose his job and have to go be a coordinator somewhere else.
This is another reason why that franchise is in the basement every year. It's their fans. Why would you go against your coach's decision on who to start and everything, you're not giving fan support to the people who are really making a decision. Because you think the fans are making the decision who plays or not? No, they aren't.
They're not.
So you're withdrawing support for your team. Everybody's against you now, even the fans. I mean, come on, Cleveland. Get some brain power on this
and
one.
this is the thing, like, I heard Ryan Fitzpatrick talk. And I get it. You're a smart guy. You went to Harvard. You're this, you made a good NFL career. You talk now behind a microphone. That's fantastic. But he's like, oh, it's going to take a couple of weeks, and they're going to lose, and Deshaun Watson's going to throw about 6 interceptions, and then they're going to put Shadur in there, and he's going to take them all the way through for the rest of the year. Yeah, but the thing is that he played last year and they didn't win. So why do you think he's going to play this year and win? This guy is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Not for a winning team, not for a team you're going to get production out of, that you're going to play teams hard. Yeah, and I'll remember what one guy said the other day. All the quarterbacks that are in the NFL, they can make all the throws. But when you put the pads on and have 300-pound monsters coming at you and have defensive backs that can run 4.2 40s and has got so big of closing speed, you got to be able to fit in windows. You got to be able to read defenses. You got to be able to do all the things. I mean, gosh, Shadur Sanders is not the guy. If he was the guy, then he would already be the guy, and he's not the guy. So all of this stuff that all of these news people are talking about, I'm sorry if ESPN sends us an email and says, hey, tell Paul to chill out a little bit.
Cease and desist.
Stop going against what our guys in the national television part is going. I'll stop, but I'm just telling you, my opinion on Shadur Sanders is that you, at best, are a backup. And because you cause so much drama, I wouldn't want you as my backup because I need somebody that's going to be pro-team and not pro-me. And that's exactly what Shadur Sanders is, and I just don't have anything for – and it has nothing to do with him doing his poses, his dad, or any of the other stuff. I'm talking X's and O's, fitting into windows, reading defenses, changing alignments, putting people in motion, and changing and making decisions on the football field. He's not the guy. I'm not with him. Deshaun Watson is the quarterback at Cleveland. And again, if he don't work out, then you know what? You got a great draft supposedly coming next year for quarterbacks. Grab you one there again and add the name to the list because you know as well as I do, Cleveland's going to pick the wrong one and they're not going to be able to develop the wrong one. And then there you go again. We're going to be talking about it in 5 years from now. Cleveland will have another number one pick that they'll be picking another quarterback and add to the long list of names that have not turned out to be starters in the NFL.
And they did the right thing by getting rid of Myles Garrett, the best defensive player in the league. Well, I mean, come on.
They got
I don't
something
care what
for
they got.
him. But
they had a player there that was willing and to sign an extension and everything, and then you got rid of him.
And I'll read
their ceiling is 5 and 12, and that's a dream because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. And I'll read what Kyle Albritton said because I think he's spot on. You know, the only thing that Shadur Sanders has done in the NFL that's been really good.
What?
He killed the Pro Bowl. Because he was selected last year.
Oh, my goodness.
So there you go. Great way to end the show. Shadur Sanders ended the Pro Bowl. Congratulations, sir. You will be in history of the last quarterback in the Pro Bowl. Congratulations, my friend. You did it. You did it. You become it. You're it. Either way, thanks so much for listening this week. We appreciate it. Next week, you know what we're doing. It's football season, baby. We're going to be talking all week long about football and all the games coming up. All the experts are going to be here, and we're excited about it. We will see you tonight, and we'll have the games for high school. Don't forget that. We'll see you later, guys. Have a great night.
You've read the headlines. You've seen the highlights. But how about the unfiltered truth?
Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It's a baseball.
Since 2017, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed